Bill Maher called out CNN's Kaitlan Collins on the network's bias. Let's watch.
You made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said something like, you guys at CNN just report the news straight. And the crowd burst into laughter. Look, I'm on CNN now. I guess we're on it right now. I mean, they show this show the next night. I don't know how we get away with it with all the but they do. And all these dirty jokes. But I'm glad. And I'm a big rooter for CNN. But that tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing in that arena of like, this is a terribly divided country. We're not only politicized, a lot of people just hate the other side. And CNN, in my view, should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
How is CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, you know, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties.
Now, Maher also questioned Kamala Harris's lack of media appearances. Let's watch.
What do you think about?
Hey VeraCity, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl VeraMoore. I'm back with another reaction video. Today, I'm going to be reacting to The Ill, and we have been Maher calls out CNN's Kaitlan Collins over biased coverage of Kamala Harris. All right. This is still the Kamala Harris and Bill Maher. Let's get right in, guys.
The fact that Kamala doesn't talk to the press. In a way, I feel like it's more insulting than what Trump does. And Trump says you're the enemy of the people, which is pretty bad. But she's kind of saying I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. You don't matter. You're not relevant anymore. To me, that's even worse than I hate you. It's like I don't think about you.
I don't know if it's worse than denigrating the press on a daily basis, which is what Donald Trump did. I mean, I covered him in the White House every day as a correspondent. And, you know, oftentimes to kind of, you know, shake you if you were asking him a question, he would try to get into a personal argument with you or just deny or lie about, you know, what you were asking about. And so I don't know if I would compare the two. I do think she should talk to the press. I think anyone who wants to have access to the nuclear codes should be willing to sit down and take questions. And we'd love to have her on the show.
You know, I really appreciate Bill Maher's confusion from a technical standpoint of when and whether his show is on CNN and how it's connected as a host of a show that, you know, we're part of The Hill, and The Hill is owned by Nexstar, and we have News Nation as our sister company, and I can't keep anything straight, although we're happy to have the involvement of a lot of the folks over here, and we're going to be moving into the same space as them. We're going to have a new studio soon. It'll be really cool. That just is a totally inside baseball resonated with me. But as to the matter of, you know, CNN being the network of that both sides can watch. If you look at the numbers, the network that both sides watch is Fox News. Fox has like just as many Democrats watching it as these mainstream or liberal channels. The fact that, you know, the audience, even what's his face's audience that Kaitlan Collins was on, as he noted, laughed at the idea that CNN is unbiased and is a place that both sides are tuning in, which is, you know, a far cry from where it was when it launched. Which is not to say that there isn't good reporting being done by the network or there aren't fair anchors. You know, I've celebrated over and over again the effort they did hosting the first debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So I'm not going to, you know, by any means condemn the whole place, but I think it's perceived by viewers, whatever's left of them, to have gone astray from its mission somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, you did have MSNBC garnering much more viewers this time around than Fox did for the RNC, DNC coverage. You also had the RNC garnered about 25.4 million viewers, whereas the DNC this time around had 29.8, about 14% higher. So yeah, there's all kinds of people who hate watch Fox News. They clip up the segments so that they can debunk them and post them online for all of the boomers that want to watch more Fox News when they're not watching Fox News, as an attempt to inject some reality into their media consumption. So yeah, people on both sides watch Fox News. Are they watching it and thinking, yes, everything they say is true and good reporting? Absolutely not. Fox has become entertainment for people on both sides and for different reasons. Does that make it a good news channel? No. And so I think, it's interesting to see the amount of people tuning into the DNC and Kamala Harris as an indicator of where people stand politically. And they want to watch it on MSNBC. They're like, we're going to watch it with the libs. We're going to lib out and watch people who are happy about it. And so I think news is shifting and the country politically is shifting a little bit more towards positivity and hope. And Fox is still playing the hits, criticizing the tan suit, bringing up race and gender on a constant basis. And so I think less people want to watch that these days.
Bringing up race and gender on a constant basis. I mean, I think that's the boosters of Kamala Harris.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. What did I just listen to? Who is this lady, Jessica? This is a perfect example of brainwashing. Like, she literally is trying to brainwash everyone right now. Like, what is she even talking about right now? Honestly, does she even believe what she's saying herself? Like, does it make sense? She herself, I'm very sure she doesn't know what 100% of what she's saying, because she sounds so serious right now, and I'm like, okay, what is this lady talking about? Like, can we just move on from Jessica already? Because what exactly? And I do not agree with her on everything she has just said. The worst journalist ever. Let's go on, guys.
Doing that on mainstream media. Look, you can disagree with the perspectives, the opinions of the opinion hosts on Fox, but the mainstream, and I disagree sometimes with some of them, depending on what it is. I think the reporting that goes on Fox is just as good, if not better, than a lot of other mainstream media organizations, and puts straight news reporting. It's not, some of it is, at least, is opinion. Plenty of it is opinion free, and the line is more clearly delineated, in my view, on Fox than it is on the other channels. But I also wanted to touch on their debate over, Maher saying Kamala is almost worse because while Donald Trump's attitude toward the mainstream media is, I hate you, her attitude is, I don't need you at all, and I'm not going to talk to you. And I think there is something to that, and the reason for it is because she perceives she doesn't need the media because they're being so positive toward her. They're boosting her. They're helping push her over, pull her over the finish line. They're giving her unbelievably favorable, fluffy coverage without her having to lift a finger. So why would she talk to them when they're just going to talk about, all that joy being injected into the airwaves, into our brains, as you put out? That's what they're doing without her having to play ball at all with them. So why would she?
I mean, it's been 3 weeks. Again, we've talked about this before. The most recent sit-down interview Trump did with the media was with Elon Musk. Trump's sit-down interviews, he doesn't really speak to his policy plans anyway. I don't know why they're so obsessed with Kamala Harris sitting down with them. I mean, they're the media. They want the views, for sure. But I mean, she's out doing campaign rallies all the time, talking about her vision. She answered questions with the press on the tarmac in between going to campaign rallies. This idea that she's not willing to answer questions, I just think it's silly. She's spending her time catching up on campaigning because she's joining the race so late. It's just the media being obsessed with the media, that we're the most important people and the questions of ours she answers are the most important. She's got a campaign to run. And of course, she's going to have press conferences as president. She's going to do sit-down interviews. But the idea that she needs to do one in the first few weeks of her campaign, why? I just don't understand why they're calling for that. It's not that she said she'll never talk to the press.
You think we have to elect her president before you have to vote for the bill to see what's in it? We have to have her as president before we're allowed to find out what she actually thinks about the issues?
No, she's released her economic policy plan. She's doing this on the campaign trail. The idea that she has to sit down with a figure on media and give their show views in order for them to be satisfied is a part of the poison of American media. She's giving her message directly to the people, and her speeches are being aired. I mean, I know more about her economic policy plan than I do about Donald Trump's. And in fact, a lot of conservative commentators are spreading misinformation and attacking Kamala Harris's economic plans. So the idea that they can attack her plans and still don't know what they are, doesn't make sense. Those two things can't be true at once.
Well, she got some criticism. In fact, she even got some mainstream criticism of her economic plans, very polite, mild criticism that even some people making it then wanted to walk back for fear of offending, I don't know, the K-Hive or something. That's why I think it would be beneficial for her to sit down with a reporter who can say, well, this is your economic plan, but economists say this about it and that it's going to be bad. Actually, that just happened with J.D. Vance, sat down for a mainstream interview, and he was asked about the tariffs plan, and the reporter was able to say that, tariffs are something virtually all economists say are bad for the economy, but you think tariffs are good? And he said, well, I think they're good for this reason. He was actually pressed on a policy, and there's no opportunity for that to happen with Kamala Harris, even though the stated policies have been politely, mildly criticized. Don't want to, again, nobody wants to offend her, but I think that's why
it's just not true. I mean, outside of the DNC, there was a viral clip of her being asked about her policy plans on night one. So this idea that she's not taking questions about the media, specifically on her plans, just not true. She spoke on her plans. She was asked directly about them, specifically the price gouging plan and her plan on reducing rents. She spoke to the press about this and why these things will be good and how we should think about them. So this idea that she's not taking questions for the press, not talking to the press, they're just not true. And you can say it all you want, but people see the videos of her talking to the press. They saw the videos about her saying we need to look at the economy as a whole. And instead of, questioning how this will be bad for the economy, we need to think about the economy as a whole and that price gouging will be good. I'm paraphrasing, but we can pull the clip up. She's talking to the press and answering specifically questions on her economic policy plan.
That does it for us today on Rising. Thank you all for turning in. We're just getting the week started. There's going to be a lot more news to come. Be sure to like, share.
Wow. The truth is that Kamala doesn't answer questions. She hardly grants interviews. She doesn't answer questions. So now Jessica she is really hilarious. And so Jessica is saying Kamala answers questions, that she grants interviews, that she said her plans, that she was going to do some stuff. No, we're talking about real questions here. Sit down videos where they will roast her, tough questions. She should grant such interviews. Yes, because if you're going for the presidency, for the seat of the presidency, it is not a small issue. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. And she's like, oh, Abis doesn't have the time. Abis doesn't have the time for 10 minutes questions. This is a serious seat. She's going in there, and we need to know who we are choosing for president. Okay, we need to know who is coming up as president, who we're choosing, all of these things. She is just being so biased and totally unbelievable right now. Okay guys, what do you think about this video? What are your thoughts? Drop your comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. If you're new to the channel, join VeraCity. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's guys, see you in my next video. Bye bye.